Hello everyone, have you noticed that interesting phenomenon? That is, the price of gold this year in the first 10 months has increased by more than 30%, which is higher than the increase of stock index in the US and in most countries. Now, why is that? And will this continue? Okay, the immediate reason for the increase of the price of gold is that the US Fed has cut interest rates. Okay, so when interest rates are cut, more specifically, when the real interest rate, which is the difference between the nominal interest rate, for example, the 10-year US Treasury bond, the yield of 10-year US Treasury bond minus the inflation rate of the US, when this real interest rate goes down, the people are more willing to take money from their bank, which earns interest, to holding gold or other assets. This is number one reason, okay? The other reason, of course, is the continued crisis in Middle East and in Ukraine and in other parts of the world, including North Korea, right? So all this volatility in geopolitics are jacking up the gold price. There's another reason, actually, very important, I should really mention, is that there's about 35 trillion US dollar in the amount of US Treasury bond. Okay, the US Treasury bond is now huge, 35 trillion. Okay, and nobody knows what will happen after the presidential election. Okay, nobody knows who will win the presidential election. What if the US politics in the US Capitol Hill and also in the White House intensifies, so that the pace of approving the hike of US Treasury bond is delayed, then we will run a risk of default of US Treasury bond. That will immediately cause a downward adjustment in the credit rating of US Treasury bond, which in turn will decrease the demand for US Treasury bond, because a lot of insurance companies, pension funds are no longer be able to buy US Treasury bond, which is credit, in terms of credit rating, is lower, right? So all these things are pushing people to think about holding more gold to hedge against all these risks. Okay, now how about in the long run? In the long run, will the gold price continue to increase? I tend to think so. But give me one reason. Let me give you one reason, okay? That is, all over the world, many central banks are thinking about holding more gold. They worry about the US dollar. They worry about the payment system controlled by the US being too draconian, right? So they want to set up their own payment system. For example, the BRICS countries with the expanded members, right? So all these developments are leading to one thing, that is central banks holding more gold. So in the long run, in the coming decade, or even 2 decades, there will be continued increase in the gold as a reserve of central banks. So all these things combined make me believe that the gold price will continue to increase in the coming decades. However, I really want to keep in mind, I'm not arguing, I'm not suggesting that you put your money right away from US dollar equity or US bond to the gold, okay? So this, in the short term, is still possible for the gold price to come down, to have bumps, okay? So what I'm arguing, what I was saying is, in the long run, in the coming 5 to 10 years, 20 years, there's a long trend for gold price to go up. But don't do it right away. Do it gradually. If you ever want to buy more gold, do it gradually, step by step. So that's always a good principle of investment with financial assets. Okay, so any comments, any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer you.